On this week's show, goblins attack, Kong is back, and Minecraft is fictional crack. Hello and welcome to the Fancy News Show from the Bottled Imp. My name is Ken Boyter and this is your weekly fix of fantasy goodness. Now you may have noticed that the sound isn't quite as good, the lighting might not be as good, well I know it's not as good, and the background is different. Yeah? Well, unfortunately, due to forces of nature, we're unable to film in the proper way that we normally film, but you know what? The content is just as good, and that's why you're here. Hopefully you're here for that, not just here for some other reason. Anyway, let's crack on. First up is Warhammer Quest has a new addition to the series. The original Warhammer Quest was released way back in 1995 by Games Workshop, and since then there's been various expansions and add-ons, or whatever you want to call them, to the series. And now there was another expansion that came out last year, I should say a separate game, Warhammer Quest Silver Town, came out in 2016. Well, this is another one of those. This is Warhammer Quest Shadows over Hammerhall. And the theme of this one is there's a band of heroes that has been brought together by circumstance, and they are bound to hunt down and nullify a sinister chaos plot in the dungeons and catacombs below Hammerhall. And Shadows over Hammerhall is a box game for 2 to 5 players. It's set in and below the splendid city of Order, which is in the area of Hammerhall. Now, I've not really got into the Warhammer thing yet. It's a massive universe, so I'm gearing myself up to get involved with that. It's the same with World of Warcraft. I've not got involved with that yet. But those are huge universes to explore, but we've got time to do that over the next coming years. Anyway, this game can handle 4 players and also a 5th player playing as the Games Master. And the game is also compatible with the last year's one, which was Silver Town. So the hero cards work. So any miniatures that you already have for that game can also be used in this game as well. Inside this box there's 31 miniatures, there's 72-page guidebook, there's 32-page adventure book for the Games Master to use, there's 18 double-sided board sections and 55 cards, plus there are 12 tracking, experience and skill dice and counters. You can find out more about this by going to their website, which is www.games-workshop.com, and we will put a description in the links in the description of this episode. River Horse has announced the first expansion for their Labyrinth board game. Goblins is the first expansion for the Jim Henson's Labyrinth, the board game, and inside the box are 5 sculpted, unpainted miniatures and 5 cards that can be added to the deck to change how the Labyrinth game plays. The expansion gives you 2 options. You can use the new miniatures to replace the standees that come with the base game Labyrinth, and you don't have to change any of the rules, or you can replace some of the cards in the Labyrinth deck with goblin cards, giving you a chance to encounter the dangerous goblins as they try and stop you from saving your baby brother. Obviously, if you've seen Labyrinth, you know that Sarah, she wishes that her baby brother was taken by the Goblin King. Oh, careful what you wish for, because that's exactly what he does. And then she has to go and rescue him. So that is the theme of the game. You are actually trying to rescue your baby brother, Toby, from the evil clutches of David Bowie, of all people. The Goblins expansion is available to pre-order now, and it's got an August 2017 release date as scheduled. If you'd like to see some of the photos of the miniatures, then you can, and also read more about it, then you can visit their website, which is riverhorse.eu/news. Minecraft video game is set to become a novel. Yes, Century have announced they have acquired the rights to the massively popular and critical hit, basically, the video game of Minecraft. It's just sold bucket loads and it's played constantly. They are planning to have new major fictional series all revolving around the world of the pixelated game. The first novel is to be a standalone book which is called Minecraft the Island, and is being written by Max Brooks, who is the #1 New York best-selling author of World War Z. So that should be an interesting combination. Each novel in the series will take the reader deep into the richly imagined world of Minecraft, which has been played, as I say, over 100 million people worldwide. Wow, that is a big game. In the tradition of classic stories like Robinson Crusoe and Treasure Island, Minecraft The Island tells the story of a new hero stranded in the world of Minecraft, who must survive the harsh, unfamiliar environment and unravel the secret of the island. It's due out on the 13th of July and is available to pre-order right now. Kong Skull Island hits the cinemas with a roar in the UK this Thursday, and I believe it's out in the US on the Friday, so we've only got a day to wait. The film is directed by Jordan Vaught Roberts and is written by Danny Gilroy and Max Borenstein, with an ensemble cast consisting of Tom Hiddleston, Samuel L. Jackson, John Goodman, Brie Larson and Jing Tian, amongst others. The film is a reboot of the King Kong franchise, and it will serve as the second film in Legendary's monsterverse, as in universe, but it's a monsterverse, and it's set before the 2014 film Godzilla. The story is actually set in 1973, and a secretive organisation known as Monarch finds an island that is shrouded in mystery and has identified there's new species on that island. The resulting expedition to the island reveals that there's a giant monstrous ape named Kong, no surprise there, and that is at the centre of a battle for domination over the island against other monsters. And this does look a whole lot of fun. It's a big blockbuster, they've got a big budget, so there's lots of special effects, lots of action, and what I've seen of the trailer, there does seem to be a bit of dark humour that's scattered through, which is obviously a nice relief from all the action and the fighting and the monsters. It does look a lot of fun though, and as I say, it's out in the UK this Thursday and in the US on Friday, and you can see the trailer by visiting their website, which is kongskullislandmovie.com, or obviously go to YouTube. Wales Comic Con is happening on the 8th and 9th of April. The goal of the Wales Comic Con is for fans of comics and pop culture to come together and chat to like-minded people. You'll be able to meet guests from a variety of industries, including comics, film, media, art, literature, sports and music. And other activities obviously are, they're going to have loads of merchandise for you to buy. There's going to be Q&A sessions and panels, there's going to be guests there, there's going to be exclusive photo shoots, and there'll also be cosplay people wandering around, just saying hello, and probably you can get your picture with them as well. Special guests include David Prowse, Darth Vader himself, John Rhys Davis from Lord of the Rings, little Gimli, and Jaime Cosmo from Game of Thrones. We've got Carlos Etakura of Judge Dredd fame, sorry about that, and John Wagner, also of Judge Dredd fame, it's easy for you to say. All the fun takes place, as I say, on the 8th and 9th of April at the Gwyndŵr University in Wrexham, Wales, and I'm really sorry that I can't pronounce the name of your university. To find out all the details, you can, and obviously how to book, you can visit their website, which is walescomiccon.com. Fighting Fantasy Fest 2 tickets are now on sale. Fighting Fantasy Fest returns to celebrate their 35 years of fighting fantasy books. The festival is the largest dedicated to the Fighting Fantasy convention yet, and it's featuring guests of honour are Steve Jackson and Ian Livingstone, no less. They are the founders and writers of this brilliant series of books. For those of you that don't know, these books came out in the 80s, early 80s. I think the first one was 82, it was The Warlock of Firetop Mountain. I absolutely adored these. Me and my friends, we couldn't get enough of these. They are basically, you are the hero. You choose which way you go through the story. There's little, it says if you want to go left, turn to page such and such. If you want to fight the goblin, turn to such and such page. Obviously you want to fight the goblin. Absolutely love these, and there's loads of these books now. It's 35 years they're celebrating. And this festival will feature talks, gaming sessions, comics, signings, and a fighting fantasy exhibition. And there's also obviously going to be a trade hall full of merchandise, as well as a cosplay competition too. The entry is by prepay ticket only, and the price of entry does include a collectible program and autograph book. Ooh. And as they say, there will be not any sales on the day, so you have to go and pre-order these. The Fighting Fantasy Fun does take place at the University of London in Ealing on Saturday the 2nd of September. To find out more and how you can book your ticket, just go to fightingfantasy.com/ which one is it? / I think it is fighting-fantasy-fest-2. A lot of hyphens in there. As I say, we'll put all the links in the description. Kickstarter news. Norse Mythology Artbook is a collection of illustrations by award-winning artist Milivoj Ćeran. Not sure if that's how you pronounce it. I do apologise once again. The art explores long-forgotten ancient Norse gods and giants, heroes and monsters who inspired Vikings to do great deeds. Depending on which side of the coin you're on. If you're a Viking, yes, they're great deeds. I guess if you're being pillaged, then they're not great deeds. Anyway, it explores all of that. Of the book, the artist has said that the focus is on illustration and images. The text is a subservient... What's that right here? I don't know what he said here. The text is a subservient. That's the word. Thank you very much. Subservient. And this is printed out. This isn't even scrawly handwriting. Anyway, the focus is on the illustrations and the images. The text is subservient to the visual content, and the images invoke the feel and mood of a lost North heritage. And the words are just a guide to these adventures. The physical book is actually 9 inches by 11 inches in size. It's 64 pages and it is full colour. Get this is the cool bit. Well, that's all cool as well, but this is beautiful. It's like the icing on the cake. Writing the foreword is internationally famous illustrator John Howe, who's best known for his work on the Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit films. He's done loads of Tolkien paintings over the years. Absolute beautiful artist. So it's cool that he's got him to write the foreword. This book does look amazing. The artwork is of the highest quality. The artist has worked for many famous companies before, Wizards of the Coast being one, so he must have done some Dungeons and Dragons stuff. He's presumably done Magic the Gathering stuff as well. They do look beautiful. And obviously there are various stretch goals and pledge levels and add-ons as you would expect. It's smashed its goal already, and it finishes on the 16th of March. Village Attacks is an epic 1 to 5 player co-op game where you play an infamous creatures of folklore defending your castle from the local villagers. So deep in a remote part of the world, you and your monster brethren have taken up residence in an immense sprawling castle. But the local villagers, they've had enough of the evil that lies at their door. Boo, they're not happy. So they decide to lay siege to the castle in an effort to drive you out and destroy whatever ties you to this world, I should say. I do love this concept, actually. You get to play the monsters, you get to explore what it's like being a monster, and I guess traditionally the monsters are the bad guys. In this, I guess you would be the good guys, and the villagers would be the bad guys, but I guess life isn't as simple as that. No one's purely evil, no one's purely good, there's a mixture. This is just purely about, there's some local villagers, they're not happy you've moved in, so they want to get rid of you. And of course, you know, you want to stay, so there's going to be a bit of a fight. It does look pretty cool. It's a big box, by the way, it's massive. I'll just quickly go through it. There's 4 monster miniatures, there's 27 peasant miniatures. Love that idea. There's 18 hunter miniatures, 4 town hero miniatures, 12 game tiles, 1 game overview tile, 4 monster dashboards, 4 hero tokens, 6 custom engraved dice, always love a bit of dice, 4 villager spawn cards, 20 trap cards, 80 plus tokens, 1 dice bag and 1 rule book. It's a big game. It does look very epic, as I say. It does look like there's a lot to it. The artwork and miniatures, they look amazing. They've really taken their time with those. They've got lots of images for you to look at, and obviously they've got how to play videos as well. And this is actually from Grimlord Games. Now, I've not heard of those before. That doesn't mean they're not any good. But yeah, check them out. The welcome video does actually show you how the game plays, so they've done quite a thorough job with that. And as you can imagine, there's various pledge levels, add-ons and stretch goals. And this one has also smashed its target, and it finishes on the 2nd of April. Elder dice are Cthulhu Mythos themed dice for tabletop gamers from Lovecraftian lovers Heath Robinson and David LaRocca. If you play fantasy or horror role-playing games, then you can check these bad boys out. They do look beautiful. They've got 3 different dice sets, each packaged in a matching spellbook box with magnetic closure. Oh yeah. They also have a set of 6-sided dice in each design for everyone who needs to roll 6 D6s by the bucket load, so you can just get those as add-ons. The 3 different designs are Cthulhu, Star Elder Sign and Lovecraft Elder Sign. I absolutely love these. These are beautiful. Each design is gorgeous in their own right. 3 different colours. I can't remember which is which, but there's 3 different colours. There's a nice sort of mottled texture on the dice. It looks really gorgeous. They're very clear. The numbers are very clear to read. And I've actually backed this one. I couldn't help it. A bit of a sucker for dice. They just look gorgeous. They do have lots of photos, nice photos of them, so you can see. Plus, also they got the little Gilmores. They got the little boxes that they come in that you can just carry them around with. Really nice touch. It's already funded, and the campaign finished on the 29th of March. Bottled Imp news. We have a winner. Yes, we have announced our winner of the 12 Realms competition, which ran with Mage Company Games to celebrate their upcoming Kickstarter campaign, which is for the 12 Realms Dungeon Land, which is a completely new game. It's a standalone game, and that comes out. The Kickstarter starts at the end of March, but we're not sure who's won yet. That's simply because we haven't picked the winner. That's after we've recorded this episode. So congratulations, whoever you are. But what we are going to do is it went out live yesterday on Tuesday, and then on Facebook, so the video of that will actually be on our Facebook page. We'll probably pin it to the top so you can find out who won. So yes, check that out. It could be you. And on this week's Friday Fantasy Show, I will be taking a spooky look at the spooky book, The Graveyard Book by Neil Gaiman. So you can check that out, obviously, on Friday. But that's all we have time for. Thank you so much for bearing with us and watching. Hopefully the sound didn't put you off too much, and the lighting. And hopefully this little ugly mug didn't put you off too much either. Remember to keep it unreal, fellow imps, especially if you like Cthulhu.